You know, and I know, and they know, and we know, we go all in. You know, and I know, they know, cause we know, we go all in. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the newest edition in What You've Been Missing. You are now listening to episode 67 of the All Dressed Up podcast. I am your man, K Dizzle DC, and to my left, you see the boy, the man, the myth, the legend, Hef Streams. What up, Heffalumpicus?
What up, my guy? How y'all feeling tonight, man? It's a lovely Sunday.
Hey. Because it was a late game, you know I gotta say it. How about them Cowboys? Shout out to all my Cowboy fans in the building, man. Look, we love y'all. We hate y'all at the same time, man. Don't come in with that nonsense. But
not up in here.
Not up in here. But look, man, we got a lot to talk about. We missed you guys last week. We here today because it's still ongoing, still craziness. Y'all know what we talking about, what everybody and their mama talking about. It ain't gonna change until it really the dust really settles and we really get everybody in on it, and all services of it covered. So we got a lot other than that to talk about. Your man Dave Chappelle was on Saturday Night Live and blew it up as usual, as he always does. And yeah, man, look, I'm trying to lay it out real soft. I'm doing it all wrong. Half that's your job, bro.
Nah, man, you're doing a great job.
I ain't doing a good job. I ain't doing a good job at all. What's
K
going on, man?
DC in the building. Hey, man, shout out to the Philadelphia Eagles who are yet to play. If you haven't heard, the Philadelphia Eagles will be seeing the Commanders tomorrow night. I don't know, man. I'm gonna go ahead and let you get your shit off now because I don't know. You know, it's one of those trap games, if you ask me.
Here we go. Every game is a trap game when you undefeated. Every game is a trap game.
Get your shit off, K Dizzle.
Every game's a trap game. Every game say, "Oh, we should beat this team," but they may, but something might happen. They say that with the Texans. They say that with the Jags. They say that with the Cardinals. They're gonna say it with everybody.
Why they doubting y'all so much?
It's just what it is. They don't believe it's real until I guess you got to be Tom Brady in order for you to be not doubted. I guess. I mean, because you got to think about it. You got to really think about it. And I'll say it. We talked about it earlier in a small conversation we had with some upcoming stuff. But your boy, throughout the NFL, them Bills went down to the Vikings, and the Vikings, I don't care what you say, are a suspect team. A suspect team. Why? Because your Commanders almost beat them last week, didn't they?
They gave the
game away. Right? Hey, Bianca's in the building.
What's up, building.
HCG. Look, Vikings are a suspect team. Okay.
Any team led by Kirk Cousins is a suspect team.
Led by Kirk Cousins is a suspect team. We also know that the Bills got beat by the Vikings today. So that hurts. Let alone that they got beat last week. The Bills got beat by the Jets, so we started to see some chinks in the armor.
Let me tell you, man. I watched the Bills. I watched the Vikings game, and the Bills lost like 3 times in the same game.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was at one point where they thought they had the game in the bag, like their players were standing up on the tables and shit, waving towels, celebrating, and then all of a sudden, Josh Allen, all he has to do is just sneak the ball a few inches off his own goal line so they can solidify the victory. A lot of great plays happen to get to this point. Probably one of the catches of the year was made by Jefferson for Minnesota today. So shout out to Jefferson. That boy is an animal, probably the best receiver in the league. But he couldn't get the ball off his own goal line, fumbles, and gives up the touchdown to take them into overtime because they really should have lost right there.
Yeah.
And then they gave the game away in overtime. So what do you think, man? Are the Bills not for real?
No, they're still for real. They just got a lot of work to do. They got a lot of work to do because they don't have a lot of I won't say they have a heck of a lot of competition, but there's more competition in the AFC than there is in the NFC. That's just the truth of the matter. We're going deep dive into sports. Um, it was some good football. It was some really good football, but it's a lot. It's a heck of a lot going on, man. I want to talk before we go into sports. Let's talk about your boy Dave Chappelle, man.
So yeah, so Bianca stick with us because we're gonna talk about some sports, but we going into a lot of the bullshit that's out right now. If you're just checking us out and coming on in, K does will put the number up. If you want to text in, we can pull you in live with us to have some fun. But Dave Chappelle, man, if you didn't know, he came back to Saturday Night Live. A lot of people were against the idea of him hosting. A lot of the trans community obviously was in an uproar. Saturday Night Live didn't really care. They brought the boy on, and he did what he always does, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Monologue was phenomenal, man. He came out, talked a lot about the Kyrie and Kanye situation.
Mm-hmm.
The way he broke it down, he really didn't, in my opinion, offend anybody. I
Right.
don't think he took shots at anybody, and I think in hindsight, he had the opportunity to try to help clean up some of the errors and blunders that they committed.
Mm-hmm.
So, in his form of satire and comedy, I kind of felt like he was trying to make amends for them in the public. I don't know if you felt like that, but I think he was kind of like friendly scolding Kyrie,
Mm-hmm.
with him taking his shots, like saying, certain things you just don't say. But he didn't shit on Kyrie like a lot of the people in the pundits are doing. So
Right.
I think it was brilliant, man. What you think about it?
No, Dave's always clean in his message. He always gives you the other side of the view, and he always leaves the door open, allowing people to admit what they're wrong, admit what they're wrong, and also see that they're in the way. So you just gotta. The issue is, they've tried to make Dave Chappelle such a pariah, but unfortunately, it hasn't worked because he's such an icon in the community. So, um, shout out to Dave Chappelle for addressing it, the elephant in the room, and also just yeah, like you said, cleaning it up in the best way.
But like, hey guys, I'm sorry for coughing tonight live on the broadcast, but y'all know we're live. We don't edit. A little under the weather, but stick with me. But y'all know Dave is brilliant when he can talk about real issues
Mm-hmm.
and tie it into comedy. And I think it was overall, I think he addressed everything in a good way. We gotta honestly say that I don't think Kyrie said anything out of his own mouth to disrespect any group of people. I personally don't remember hearing Kyrie coming out and saying anything. And I've heard him actually say out of his own mouth that he has no type of hate towards any people.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, you know, it's hard for me to step out there and say it, but you have to apologize and reel it back and know where to go. You have to know what you got to lose. You know what I'm saying? And going into the post, I mean, talk about a post that was missing a caption.
Yeah. So it was a post of a picture, and he didn't have a caption on the picture. He just took a snapshot of the picture of the movie, and I have not watched the movie, so I can't say. Everybody's saying all this other stuff. I think for first and foremost, the movie has now garnered $7 million off everybody watching it. So
Mm.
I don't know. It's $11 on Amazon, and $50 to buy. Here's what I do know, and somebody did bring up a very valid point. If this if this movie was so controversial, right? People just be getting too sensitive. Well, here's the thing, B. Here's the thing. If this movie was so controversial, right, prior to Kyrie Irving just uh, screenshotting and tweeting the picture of the film, why was it ever available and is still available on Amazon Prime?
You gotta read the room, and you gotta know that at the end of the day, my boy told me best. Kyrie's an employee. He's an
Correct.
employee. He's not an owner of that team. So
Correct.
when you have a platform and you got that level of influence, you do have to watch what you say. Now, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
telling him he has to feel any type of way.
Mm-hmm.
He's his own man. But just like Dave said in the monologue, it was funny, but he was like, whenever you put the two words the and Jews together, it's never a good thing. And he was just joking about like,
Yeah.
targeting the Jews.
Right.
And he was like, one thing, and I'm gonna just add to it, but like calling a spade, he was like, there are a lot of Jews in Hollywood. Like it is what
Mm-hmm.
it is. You know what I'm saying? Like if the room is red, the room is red. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You can't lie and say that like, look, all the top big wigs in the music industry and who run rap are Jewish.
Correct.
At least 85 to 90%. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that's a bad thing. All I'm saying is some facts are facts. It's not a personal shot.
What
You
up,
know what I'm
Trump?
saying? And just like Chappelle said in a very funny way, he was
Mm-hmm.
like, you got a lot of Jewish people in Hollywood. I'm not saying
Mm-hmm.
anything. He said you got a lot of black people in Ferguson.
Right.
And made a spin to it. So that's why I think it was funny, man.
Yeah, for sure. And so I think and everybody can agree with the same idea. It wasn't the situation of well, you get the backlash of it, but it was what they demanded of him. They suspended him, and then they made some serious demands on what he had to do prior to coming back,
Mhm.
which was pretty which was pretty far out. It's pretty far out. And lesbians, white, black people are getting too sensitive. Only people not getting offended is the is the Mexicans.
Shout out to the Mexicans,
Shout out,
man. The
shout
hardest
out to
working, lower
shout out
paid. I love y'all.
shout out to uh, everyone from South America. See, well, I'm gonna go off topic real quick. Siri play Tupac in this way. so so the biggest thing is this. You can't. I'm not gonna say you can't. You shouldn't be putting these type of demands on the man to come back and enforce these
Ho-
type of demands.
Okay, can I say something before I
Yeah,
forget? You talking about the man. Shout out to Drunk. What up, Drunk?
yeah.
Shout out to Arizona Ron. What up, man? We in the building.
So I'm gonna put
All
this.
right.
Let me put this up real quick. These demands. So everybody, if they weren't aware, okay, Nets have delivered Kyrie Irving 6 items he must complete to return to team. Apologize and condemn the movie. 500,000. Hold on, give up 500K. Okay, to anti-hate causes. You got to go to sensitivity training. Then you have to go to specific anti-Semitic training. Then you got to meet with ADL. Don't know who that is. And then Jewish leaders. And then the last but not least, you got to meet with Josiah, who is the owner, to demonstrate understanding. How do you demonstrate understanding?
That's all fine and good, but there's certain things on this list that I think are bullshit because if you want him to apologize and condemn the movie, I think you should have Bezos stand right next to him and apologize and condemn the movie because that
He
company's been profiting off of selling that book and movie. And that's where Kyrie Irving found it. Now, if they want him to apologize about the post, I think it'd only be right for them to take it off of Amazon and
mm-hmm.
have Amazon apologize as well. The sensitivity training and exactly buck breaking at its finest, Arizona. The anti-Semitic training, you obviously own a team. And again, we're going back to business. Kyrie Irving's not the owner of that team.
Mm-hmm.
So the team's owned by a Jewish person. The commissioner of the NBA is Jewish as well. So they're not going to allow Kyrie Irving to run around and just say and do what he wants, even though he didn't say anything.
Right.
So at the end of the day, I wanted to talk about before you go into what Nick Cannon says, because Nick Cannon took Kyrie's side. It's funny how all these prominent black, analysts that I would call influencers came out and really put their foot on Kyrie Irving's neck, in my opinion. Like I watched Shaq and Charles Barkley do it on NBA on TNT. They called him out his name, saying he was unintelligent. And then I also saw Shannon Sharp going on him when he first did the post as well. So it's
Mm-hmm.
funny that now it seems like Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp are reeling it back
Mm-hmm.
and playing now that they want to side with Kyrie. Now that these regulations came out, that he has to actually do these 6 things, and he has to jump through all these hoops. Now everybody's saying it's not right. You know what I'm saying? It's not right for him to have to do it. You got this black man jumping through all these hoops, but a lot of people have made mistakes. So at the end of the day, I think they're cleaning up their image because now they want to be side with Kyrie. But I heard what they said when it first came out and how they shit on that boy. And I think Shaq is looking crazy. Like, you can disagree with somebody, right? You can
Mm-hmm.
disagree, but you don't have to call that man an idiot or a moron because again, he never said anything
He
on
just tweeted a
video.
picture. He tweeted a picture of it was a snapshot of the picture of the movie that was on Amazon, and it said something like Hebrews to Negroes, and that's all it said, Hebrews to Negroes. So we don't even know if he's seen the movie because he's never even said, "Yes, I've seen the movie." He probably saw Hebrews to Negroes and retweeted it. But the biggest thing is yes, you have people coming out saying, "Oh my gosh, he's an idiot. He shouldn't did this." Doc Julius Irving, I don't know where he came out the box talking some crazy stuff, talking about he's an embarrassment and all this other
Mm.
nonsensical stuff. That is fact, not fiction. When you are an employee of an organization, you have to be mindful of the things that you post because in that type of position where he is front facing, meaning he's front facing of the organization. He's a part of the whole, public relations part of it. You're the face of it. You have to be mindful of everything you do within the public. And look, that's that man's still alive. You know what? He's waiting till for LeBron to retire to make sure his record stays intact.
Man,
So that's all he's doing. Then he'll fall off in the sunset. But uh, yeah, the biggest issue is that you shouldn't have. If you knew it was going to be controversial, you didn't know how controversial it's going to be, and you got to be mindful of that stuff. Like you're not at that untouchable LeBron location. You know what I'm saying? You're not at that location where you can do stuff like that. And so, um, the backlash. What I'm more upset about is what we're looking at on the screen, which is all of this in order to have him come back to work, right? And Buck breaking at his finest. I think the reason why I pulled up Nick Cannon is because he explained it in detail on what actually it is because people don't understand what buck breaking. So you got to remember this too, Hef. And I know, I was telling I was talking, me and my wife were talking this weekend, and I said that because she's like, well, what do you think about relocating? I said, I don't want to go to the South. She said, well, why do you want to go to the South? I want to make sure wherever we go, there are plenty of black people around because we are so fortunate that we live in an area. We are just so used to seeing so many African Americans in the area.
and
And I said,
sidebar, Candace, what about the states that still voted to keep slavery as a
oh,
form of punishment?
stop. We're not gonna go there. Um, so, so, uh, people in the South. There's some places in the South that you know, uh, aren't taught really about slavery and what the truth is about slavery. So people don't know these parts of it and what this is when they see it until they get some people in the North that we got to explain it to them. So let me let Nick do his thing real quick and play that little clip. You know,
Check this out. I can't hear it, big bro.
see,
I can't hear the video.
you can't hear it.
No. Yeah, no audio on the video because we live on a Sunday night.
Because we live on a Sunday. That's why we're live on a Sunday. Well, I don't know why it's not sharing audio. Whoop, whoop. I'm sorry, B. Let me come back to it. I don't know why it's not sharing audio. That's crazy.
So talk about what he said until you can pull it up.
But he's basically saying, explaining what buck breaking is basically when you line them up, and what the slave masters used to do was, the one that got out of line, they would punish him in front of all the other slaves so badly to ensure that nobody else, that was none of the slaves, would try to do the same things that he did, and making a true example of him, and to keep him in line. And so basically, Kyrie is now a martyr, saying, "Hey, if you do this, these are the things that we're going to enforce on you, and you damn near might get canceled. Let alone, you're going to become a pariah of the league, and this is where we're going to, quote unquote, blackball you because of what you're trying to do, or what you're saying." Now, perfect example is how many terrible. Let me ask a good question, okay? And I want everybody in the chat. How many teams do you think right now need a solid quarterback? How many teams in the NFL league need a real solid number one quarterback? Off the top of your head, have I know you can say
15.
it. So 15, right? If you're in the chat, just put a number in the chat and say how many NFL teams right now need a solid QB. A solid QB. Just give me one number, two numbers, right? Kyrie losing his Nike deal was insane, 100%. They just trying to blackball him. But how many NFL teams right now? You can say at a minimum of 10, right? A minimum of 10 teams need a number one QB, right? Drunk said it. I say about 10 teams, right? So then answer me this question. Why is Colin Kaepernick not playing in the NFL right now?
He got blackballed.
Why is he not playing in the NFL right now? They look, they hired. We're not gonna go super deep, but look, 10 teams. Bianca say 10, Drunk say 10. Kyrie, Kyrie. They tried to Kaepernick Kyrie. He's blackballed. All the man did was kneel. He didn't say anything. He kneeled.
It's a pure spectacle and display of power.
Yeah.
It's a pure display of this is what I'm gonna do now because I can.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna fuck with you, Kyrie, and make you do all this before you come back. And when have you ever seen suspensions that were labeled as at least 5 games? Like, what happened to just being suspended indefinitely or suspended for the season? They just said, you know what, we're gonna suspend them for at least 5.
Mm-hmm.
These 5 of them jumps because we got some shit for Kyrie to do. We about to put him
Mm-hmm.
on stage front and center since he didn't want to apologize, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now he's gonna have to really bend over and take it to come back and play. And what's fucked up about it is, outside of this whole issue, over the past 2 or 3 seasons, Kyrie hasn't played 4 seasons at all. No. Outside of injury, trades, the corona situation with him not wanting to be vaccinated, and now this whole situation, teams aren't going to want to probably touch him in the future. Mm-hmm. Because in order for him to come and play, he wants all the money. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how many teams after this are going to be willing to pay Kyrie a supermax when there's so many things around him that make you think at any given moment he's not going to show up.
They just literally trying to blackball him. So here is where it really starts, like it really starts digging in your skin, right? Let me share this tab, right? So hold on, what you say? Let me pull this up.
I don't know if he's gonna want to come back personally.
Hold on. Clara and I, this is Josiah, the owner. Now, this is after he put those requirements in so that before Kyrie can come back. Clara and I met with Kyrie and his family yesterday. We spent quality time to understand each other. It's clear to me that Kyrie does not have any beliefs of hate towards Jewish people or any group. Now, here's my issue with that statement. Okay. Before you said that, right? Before you said that, this is what you told the man he had to do. Okay. Get off, take off. Why are you on there? This is what you told the man he had to do. He had to apologize. He had to donate. He had to go to sensitivity training. He had to go to anti-Semitic training. He had to meet with Jewish leaders. Then he had to meet with you. And this is all before you talk to the man and his family. All before. This is all before.
And not to throw you off, K Dubs, but I was just notified that the Facebook comments are posting. But if you are on Facebook, try to hop on over to YouTube. We appreciate everybody that's following and checking us out tonight. But go ahead, K Dubs.
They're not posted. What is going on? Oh, let me pull that up. See what's really good.
Nah, but
Oh,
you
yes, they
great
there.
points, man.
Huh?
I
But
said you're making great points.
it's just crazy. It's just really crazy.
Donating to 500K is insane.
Donate 500K is insane.
That is
100%.
insane, drunk. I agree with you.
Now, the last thing Shanae says is ultimately it's our fault as Black people because if we don't show up for work, then there's no entertainment. But we refuse to come together. Now, I 100% agree with that. 100% agree with that. What I do agree with more is that Black people didn't show up in defense of Kyrie Irving. He had 1, 2, or 3 that came out the woodwork. 1, 2, or 3. And go ahead.
I was just gonna say the post was ambiguous, so a lot of people didn't know what to say.
Right.
You know, you got to think if you weren't educated about what the post meant, you really had no thought or opinion about it, right? You had to go research it. So in a way, he brought attention to the book or the movie. So that's why I was asking everybody, like, was posting something, promoting something, because he posted it and got people to look into it.
Uh-huh.
So
so that's funny because I literally just copied and pasted your joint saying, where was all this energy when Brett Favre was stealing from poor people? Man, did that story get rotated out of rotation quickly or what? Brett Favre stole $5 million from poor people in Mississippi. Brett Favre stole $5 million from poor people in Mississippi. Shout out to sweeping ESPN, sweeping that on the rug. And of all the people who stood up, shout out to Nick Cannon, man. Him and repopulating the universe. He just having the time of his life with his small circle of friends having unprotected sex and making children. 12 kids.
No. I saw a post. They were talking about National Geographic was talking about what the population is going to look like in 20 years, and all the people had Nick Cannon faces and different hairstyles.
I see that too. That shit was hilarious, man.
Hey, but switching gears before we get back into sports and some other stuff. I never thought Kanye, right, would come out and honestly, finally play into the notion that his mother was sacrificed, man. I really hope that if he's not feeling good, he could get some help, or if he's really talking the truth, he might need to listen. But he came out saying some stuff like, what do you think happened to Bill Cosby and Michael Jordan's dad and his mom? And I'm just like, I don't know what Kanye's trying to do right now, but he's saying some shit that's got people really, giving that side eye. I saw Dame Dash was talking. And he was talking about Kanye's mental health, and he was like, when you're bipolar and you have these triggers, the worst thing to do is put a camera and a microphone in front of this man when he's obviously being triggered, left and right. And I think that's a good point. It's not always entertaining, and some of the stuff he's saying is pretty scary, bro.
He just needs some help.
Definitely some truth in every lie, though.
There is definitely some truth in every lie. It's just it's one of those things where you say, all right, so the problem is you could be telling some truth, but because your lies are so far out of reach that it's very hard to believe anything you say from there. You know what I'm saying?
The man got into rooms and got close to people and got the rug pulled from underneath him when he realized he wasn't a part of, that group like he thought he was.
He thought because he was smart, intelligent, and knew people and worked his way in certain areas that he was in those circles. But he was strongly reminded
Hey,
I.e.,
KB, check this out.
Adidas strongly reminds him, hey, we don't need your money. We're going to part ways, and we don't care how much it costs us. Okay. Because if you slash your profit margins as a business by at least a quarter, like $250 million, just because on principle, that's saying, hey, your money's good, but we don't need it.
If I
We're
see
okay.
you rocking the Adidas Yeezys that the Adidas brand puts out that Kanye designed, but take his name off it, I'm gonna
Call them the
laugh like
Zooms.
shit. Yeah, you're gonna be rocking those Adidas Yeezys, bro. But like Chappelle said in a monologue, he had said like he never wanted to take a shoe deal.
Mm-hmm.
He was like because he knows what's expected. You
Right.
gotta know when you take a job. Even me and you on like a different level. Like when we take a job or we sign a contract, there's a commitment, there's expectations. I'm starting to really not go crazy, but get frustrated to hear so many people speaking out about bad contracts. Like, read your contracts, get your lawyer, sit down, break it down. Like, Master P is one of the most brilliant people of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And my girl Sinead was telling me yesterday, she was talking about a quote Master P said.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, some office, some music executive offered him like 500 million for his label. And I could be off with the number, but it was a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
And it might have been 5 million. And Master P was like, if that white man offers me 5 million, imagine what I'm really worth.
Right.
So that's some real shit. And that's why you see people in these different positions. But drunk say I heard people saying Kanye the closest thing that will
Answer
ever
that
have to
question.
Tupac. Agree
Answer
or
that
no?
question.
I disagree, just because I think Kanye is, more so. Um, no one really understands what Kanye is doing. Like at least Tupac was more definitive in, I guess, his message. You know what I'm saying? He was against, just the overall oppression in black communities and the lack of resources and opportunity that we have. But Kanye's got enough resources and money that Tupac never had. Kanye's got so much more access to shit that Tupac never even came close to, where he really could make a difference if you think about it. And you got to
Mm-hmm.
be smart because he's trying to expose things when really that might affect the next man to get that opportunity that he had. You got to think about it. Is Kanye going to fuck it up for the next black man? Because at this point, look at what he's doing. He had all these billions of dollars, right? And
Mm-hmm.
he basically said, fuck that shit. I'm not feeling the way the business is moving. And just like Farrakhan said, if he lost $1 billion that fast, did he ever really have it? And that's the other thing. We talk about worth versus value. You can be worth X amount of dollars, but you don't necessarily have that amount of money to reach out and touch it. You
Mm-hmm.
can be worth something because people have shares in your portfolios, this and that, and you've got different contracts and different business deals out there. But as soon as they pull that shit, you don't have access to any of that money.
And Ron say I can see the pot comparison. We still the biggest thing is we're comparing such a short lifespan of greater impact um, than a 40-year-old to this day. I think some people do a lot more with the little time that they have than others. And when you talk about worth versus value, that's a whole nother topic, because your net worth can be great, but what your value is to the lives and other people's within your community, let alone your family, is something completely different. So um you know I just believe when we're talking about this Kyrie Irving situation, you got to look at the timeline of events, how everything transfolded, what how the media, I believe, overreacted and immediately went to cancel culture, and everybody got wrapped up within cancel culture before having a real conversation, which
Man,
shows just a dangerous path that we're leading moving forward. So I'm watching this show with my wife. Again, shout out to my wife. Look, one of the things I did this weekend, um, last week was my 16th wedding anniversary. I did like barely any. I know you ain't talking too much. I did barely any social media. I stayed off my phone as much as I could. and it was great. Good times. Sometimes when you go offline and just spend time in real life, it makes it's a lot better. Shout out to Hef for taking last Sunday off to spend time with the woman that he loves, and we said, hey, this is more important. Let's do this. Let's have some fun. Let's enjoy it, and we'll reconvene. But look, um, I was talking. I almost lost my train. I did lose my train of thought talking about my lady. But what the hell are we talking about? Salute on. I appreciate you, bro.
No
Um,
doubt.
we're talking about the direction that we're going in as far as this cancer culture. We so quick to jump the gun. I'm watching this movie, Netflix series. We got to get on that. We got to get on that show, sleeper shows. Netflix series called The Watcher. Right. The Watcher is about this family, this couple that moves into a house, and then they start getting these crazy letters about people just watching them while they're in your house and start driving them crazy. Anyway,
It's on right now.
it's on right now. It's on Netflix to watch it. So if you haven't watched it, I apologize. Okay. Spoiler alert. Stop, pause, and come back 5 minutes later. Okay. Come
But
back
don't
5 minutes later.
spoil it for me, K. Does
What?
damn.
You just no, so it is scary. It's scary, right? So in this series, The Watcher, the daughter, you got a son and a daughter, a husband and wife. The daughter gets mad at the dad, right? Because the dad finds out that she's dating this older guy, and usually, it's illegal. You stop watching and creeping out. So he breaks it off with him and grounds her because she lies, says she's not. So you know what she does? It's a white family, right? She goes and takes her brother's iPad and puts on TikTok that her dad specifically, uh, grounded her because she was dating a black man.
Mm.
Right? Right? The reviews are crazy. The reviews are crazy. So now the daughter has basically ruined her father's career.
Mm.
Now he is labeled as a racist, right? So that's
Just because she dating
just
Tyrone.
because she dated Tyrone. So none of it is true, by the way. But that's what we're talking about. We're immediately jumping to the conclusion, well, for even having a conversation and knowing what the background on anything is. So when you hear certain things, like remember we did an episode talking about how the white cop came on the scene and shot the black girl, and nobody liked when I was saying, hey, he made the right call because they was over aggressive. Remember that? Remember the whole episode, Have?
Yeah.
Caught some slack on that. But the truth of the matter is, he had to make a decision based on what's going on in front of him. All we do was when we first heard it as a people, because of everything going on, was, oh, here we go again. Here's another situation where we being put, we're being murdered. We're being murdered by cops. So
Speaking of murder, did you hear what Kanye said? Did you hear what Kanye said about Jay
man,
Z?
Kanye is crazy, bro. I
No,
can't.
check this
I
out, man.
no
Check this
longer.
out. You got to check this one out, though, guys.
Oh
He
my
said
gosh,
he
man.
said he can say what he wants because he hasn't killed anybody. He's not Jay Z. He's not Shaq. Basically, all those people can't say what they want because he's almost alluding to that they're being controlled.
Look, man. Again, here we go with Kanye West. You can only believe half of what he's saying. Because the next one is going to be talking about how the movie Nope was an actual true to life depiction of true events in Arizona. I'm
Mm,
just that's just what it is.
mm.
He's gonna say Cloverfield Paradox is a movie from the future. I just don't know with Kanye. I don't know with Kanye. In those
Or
books,
50 years from now, we're gonna look back and be like, oh, he
look,
was trying to tell us
I don't trust a man who wears boots like that in the middle of summer.
something.
Okay. His feet are on fire, bro.
Dave Chappelle said he's
His
gonna be out
feet, his
walking the
whole
street.
ankles, his from his calf muscles down have to be terrible. Have to be terrible.
Chappelle said Adidas and Nike got him out in the streets walking barefooted. I
No,
fuck with him. I fuck with him too, Bianca. And the sad thing about it is, a lot of geniuses get labeled crazy over the years and over time. Because I think most people like him just don't settle, just don't stay content. Like he could have got to a point to where he could have been just like Jay, just like Snoop, and just stayed under the radar. Just smile, kiss the babies, and just kept making money. But some people just can't sit back and just chill.
Mm, mm. I have no idea, man. All I know is your boy Kyrie got a raw deal. I wouldn't even be mad if he never came back to the NBA. Just took his money and left.
If
Went to
I
go
was Kyrie,
live in Nepal.
if I was Kyrie, I'd say fuck the Nets
Yeah,
and go play in Thailand or some
go play
shit.
in
Just be a
Thailand
Buddhist.
somewhere. Go play,
Yeah,
yeah,
come
play in China somewhere. Chappelle buried some truth in. Oh, he always do that. He always do that. That's why you got. I watch all his stand-ups twice because you always miss something.
It's brilliant, man.
It is. It's absolutely brilliant. But look,
And
no, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, like, you gotta listen sometimes. You gotta read between the lines. And a lot of these people are gonna have the ability to speak on shit that we'll never understand and see.
Kyrie to
The big
the
three is
big.
funny.
Who's the big three?
Ice
Who is the
Cube,
big three? Huh? Yeah, yeah, he
Ice
might go there.
Cube's league.
That's right.
So before we switch gears to do whatever we doing tonight, because it's a good episode. I want to give a shout out to the Enough Said podcast. Enough Said is a sports show out of Jersey. We're going to be going live with these guys
Yes, sir.
right after Thanksgiving. So you know that we like to talk our sports. We're not a full sports show, but K Dizzle DC and Have Streams want to test our sports knowledge and prowess with the Enough Said podcast. So shout out to Dre, Sal, Jermaine, and Mike. So we look forward to it, man.
Oh man, we've been working on this for a few days now. Hold on, let me hit me with it quick. What is there going on? Let me pull this thing up, my guy. So we've been working on this for a few days. We actually had to beat up today. I don't know why it's probably telling me to pull it up in here, but working on a few days. We're excited about that. It's coming. That's moving soon. That's going to be very interesting to say the least. It's a podcast full of Philly lovers, so I'm gonna have a ball. We're gonna have a blast. We'll have some good conversations. Half of us just gonna stand on the sidelines after that Commanders loss. And
Man, it's
I don't
easy
know
to
how he
be a
gonna feel.
Philly lover right
But look,
now.
No. Oh, why are you back there talking? All right.
Oh,
We all heard that, and I'm gonna leave that on the audio part. Hey, so look, I have a serious. I need to have a serious conversation with you. I don't know if I should do this on the podcast, but I feel it's important that we address this elephant in the room. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Your Lakers are trash.
Super
Your
trash.
Lakers are trash.
Super
Trash. Your Lakers are trash. I don't know if anybody can say, what is it? Are they 2-10?
Yeah.
Your Lakers are trash.
It's
And
bad.
this says a lot about LeBron James and his leadership skills. Because I don't ever remember Michael Jordan. I don't ever remember Michael Jordan being on such a losing team.
Never.
I don't remember Kobe Bryant being on such a losing team.
What do you think it is, bro?
It's like the Lakers. Ross is like the Lakers on drugs. No, that it's a lack of leadership.
You think that's what it is?
It's 100% lack of leadership.
How do you have a lack of leadership when you've got a team with the nucleus of LeBron James, Russell Westbrook, and Anthony Davis? Like you got 5 MVPs within them. I mean, come on, man. At the end of the day, they put together a bad roster, man. You know, the NBA is changing, K Dizzle. They put together a bad squad.
Look, Anthony Davis plays about as many games as if he were on a community college basketball team, bro. He does not, man. Look, Anthony Davis. If that man don't get on the court and get hurt, you need to play the lotto that day.
First off,
he
Arizona,
playing and he don't get hurt.
Arizona
Jordan was a bum
Jordan
with the Wizards.
was not a bum with the Wizards.
He was not a bum with the Wizards.
Jordan,
look at that record, my guy.
I was at MCI when he was putting up 40, 50 points at 40 years old. So let's not forget.
He was not. He
He
was
wasn't
not
the
a
same
bubble.
Jordan, but it was still entertaining to
Yeah.
see. The Lakers are in trouble, man. This roster's got to go. They got to break it up. The problem is they can't move Russell Westbrook. So as long as Russell Westbrook sits on that team with that contract, they're going to be doing the same shit. They
Well,
got to
hold
put him
on,
on the bench. Hold on, they
half,
got to put him on the bench. They got to pay him, and they got to figure it out because they're not going to win with him on the court.
half. So tell me, here's the big. Who's doing? Who's? I mean, Pat Beverly is trash. Okay, who is playing well on this team?
Why would they sign Pat Beverly anyway?
I don't know. I don't know.
Why would you want to bring one of the worst 3-point shooting guards in the NBA over to your team and you're having the worst 3-point shooting performance ever? It don't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Then they got this kid, Matt Ryan. I don't know where he came from, but he's coming out shooting threes like he's going to be the answer. It's not going to happen. They're probably going to win. If they're lucky, they might win 35 games.
I mean, I mean,
If they're lucky.
Dennis Schroeder. I mean,
He's hurt.
oh gosh, he fumbled the bag. That idiot. I mean,
Kyle Kuzma's dropping 40 points for the Wizards now.
I mean, come on. You
They
got a
let Kyle
ring.
Kuzma go.
He became Antoine Jameson.
That's funny.
Oh, Anthony Davis got a ring and became Antoine Jameson on the Cavs. I love it. I love it.
That bubble
I
ring
just,
is starting to look funny
but
in the
look,
light, K
you
Dizzle.
got it. Now you have to, if they continue on this path. Now, if the Lakers somehow get it together, because it's 82 games, right? 82
Yep.
games in the season. If they somehow get it together and come back from this debacle of a start, they trade the whole team, right? Sure. How do you trade the whole team, man? How you trade the whole
Hey,
team?
drunk hit it on the head. They let some good role players walk. They have been looking for the white boy to replace Caruso.
Austin Reeves, Mr. the alley oop. Oh,
I
it
don't know
just
what
gets
was
worse.
worse, the
It just
the
gets
alley
worse.
oop pass or the dunk attempt.
It just gets worse. Um, Look, man, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say or do. I don't know if there's something that you can do out there.
Why you trying to come
Uh,
fuck with me about the Lakers though,
I'm
man?
not.
I
I'm
let you
just
get your shit
look.
off about the
I'm being honest
Eagles.
right now. I'm just being honest right now.
I'm gonna tell y'all right now, if the Eagles lose tomorrow night, I might go live without K Dizzle and do a special Monday night podcast, and I'm gonna just shit on the Eagles for an hour. You can join me if you like, but I'm telling
Yo,
you, man, when the Eagles win, you are flying high, bro.
yo, look, I haven't been talking a whole lot this year.
Now you
Every
talking
game,
now. You
I'm
talking
talking
now
now. I'm talking now. You know why I'm talking now?
because the
Is
Bills
because
lost.
the Bills lost to them bum Vikings, who we literally shut down that entire game.
Mm,
And
mm,
and
mm.
and now it's getting to a point where people are becoming disrespectful and not giving Philly their just due.
Ooh, they just punished Justin Herbert.
Huh? Oh, Justin Herbert going. I
They
don't
just
even. I
punished
don't know if he's
Justin
gonna make
Herbert.
it. I don't know if he's gonna make it. These young quarterbacks getting hurt. But look,
Mm.
do you think Tom Brady gonna make it back to the playoffs this year?
I'm glad that you brought Tom Brady up because I forgot about Tommy B. I was going to talk about him. I don't know, man. You know, it's interesting because he woke up today a little bit. Whenever you get Tom Brady abroad playing overseas, he gonna show out. I'm not betting against Tampa Bay yet. It's a long season.
Yeah.
They have a Big 12
This
schedule.
this
I
who they want.
agree.
This who they want.
But
This
nah,
what
but to
they.
answer your question though, real quick though, man, I do think Tampa Bay will be in the playoffs.
Mhm.
I do. I do think they will be. I'm not gonna count Tom Brady out. I like what I saw. They gotta get to 10 games somehow.
All right. So we got 8 weeks left. Out of all the teams that are doing good, pick one team from the NFC and one team from the AFC. Out of all the teams that are doing good, who are not going to the playoffs?
Out of all the teams that are doing good, who
One
won't make
say
the
one
playoffs,
team on the NFC, one team on the AFC that are
who
doing
are,
good
who are
right
just
now
gonna make, who are just gonna miss.
that are just going to miss.
Let me see. Let me think about this before I just blurt out something.
Falcons are a fluke.
The Falcons are one of those teams that when the run game is working, when the run game is working, the Falcons can be, pretty effective.
If Calvin Ridley wasn't suspended, they would be the truth. They would be serious.
I'm gonna
Jets
tell
in the
you,
AFC. Drunk says Jets in the AFC and Cowboys in the NFC.
I
He's
like
saying the
I like
Cowboys going to miss and the Jets going to miss. I don't think
I
the Jets going to miss.
I like the Jets' answer. I'm gonna say the Bengals are gonna miss, and the Bengals just came off that Super Bowl appearance, so both teams are gonna miss the playoffs this year between the Rams and the Bengals. I don't know when the last time that happened, when both
Mm.
Super Bowl teams didn't go to the playoffs the following season, but definitely the Chargers are looking a little funny too.
Mm. I don't. Chargers ain't for real. Um,
The Chargers are 5-3. They're second in the division behind
right.
Kansas City.
That's right
So they
now. We got
right,
10 weeks to go. That's right now. So
right.
8 weeks to go. I think I'm gonna say the Titans. They're doing good right now. They're gonna miss.
Who's gonna win their division?
Who's in their division? I gotta look.
See, that's the problem. They're in a soft division. They're in a division with the Colts, Jags, and the Texans.
Colts,
So,
Jazz, and the Texans.
so they could win their division
Ah.
and escape and be just a first round loss
Hmm.
because they're 2 games ahead of the Colts. The Colts pulled out a win today. They brought Matt Ryan off the bench since they fired their coach.
They did. Oh, good
Yeah,
job, Jeff Saturday. Oh, while we talking about that, Chargers looking like a fake 20. Let's pull up this meme right here. Every week NFL should hire a guy off the couch to see if they can beat Josh McDaniels.
that's hilarious.
Yeah,
That's hilarious.
that's a sad truth. Shout out to Jeff Saturday taking the job he should have never taken.
And then his motivational speeches are hilarious, bro.
Mm.
They are hilarious. So who do
I
you
don't think,
think?
yeah. Ugh.
Who do you think is really going to give the Eagles some trouble in the NFC, man? Let's talk about it before we end the show.
Who's going to give him some trouble?
Yeah, you can't just say y'all are going to fly through the NFC. So what you think, bro?
You want me to be 100% honest?
Yeah.
The Giants.
Whoa, you worried about the Giants?
The New York Football Giants. And the
Okay.
reason why I say that is because um, we've always had trouble with the Giants. It doesn't matter who's there or what's going on. You know, freaking Daniel Jones hit off a 55-yard run. Eagles can't beat Vikings in the playoffs.
Oh,
Oh,
get him. Get him.
here's the problem. Here's the problem with that statement, Junk, and I'm gonna highlight it. Eagles can't beat Vikings in the playoffs. This is a farce. Okay, exactly. They pulled off a miracle today.
Oh, a
The
super
Vikings,
miracle.
the Vikings have in the last 3 games have been fighting from behind to get the victory. Okay, from behind to get the victory. When they play the Eagles, yeah, I got Eagles into the Packers. Okay, so the Vikings, everybody say, okay, Eagles might lose to the Vikings in the playoffs. The problem with that is everybody gets better by the end of the year. Okay, if we played the Vikings and they were almost at full tilt, right? Weren't they undefeated too?
I think so.
They were undefeated when we saw them. They were undefeated too. We were undefeated, and we shut them down in every shape, form, or fashion. I think your boy Jefferson had like 1 or 2 catches for like 26 yards. It was a
Well,
complete shutdown.
well, what happened is y'all played them in the second week of the season, so they were 1-0.
1-0. Okay, 1-0,
So
1-0.
y'all
Was the
called them
second week?
early. Yeah, y'all called them early. It was 24-7.
Mm-hmm.
They played in Philly.
Yep.
So it was a tough game, coming out second game in a year. So I think you guys will definitely be primed for a better game.
Yeah.
And they beat Green Bay in the opening game of the season, so they probably had a false sense of
False
security.
sister. Yeah. But they almost got beat by the Commanders.
Yeah,
Okay. They barely won this game. And
you're
the week
not you're not
before, didn't
afraid
they
of the
come on?
Vikings,
I'm
bro.
not afraid of the Vikings. I'm not afraid of Kirk Cousins. I don't I don't trust the run game, and you need that for the playoffs.
But I say this
They got
though,
one of the top 5 run game, top 10 run
with
games.
but when you also incorporate Jalen Hurts with Miles Sanders, and you talk about the quarterbacks aspect of running as well, like that's the reason why I can't hate the Eagles as much as I want, because I like Jalen Hurts.
Mm-hmm.
I like Jalen Hurts a lot. I think he's a great athlete. He's got a phenomenal arm though.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of the
And
few
they sleeping on
people.
that.
that can run, but throws still probably better than he runs.
And here's the problem. Here's the problem that defenses are going to have with the Eagles, because the first thing they're going to say is, okay, I need to shut down AJ Brown, but you also have Devontae Smith on the other side, okay, who gets open. They say, okay, I need to shut down AJ Brown, Devontae Smith. Okay, we got Dallas Goedert in the middle that gets open. He's one of the top 5 tight ends right now in the league. So it's there's a lot to it, and when you have a passing game like that, it just takes the 7-man box away. Now you got the run game playing back,
How
and
many
all they do
games?
is RPOs. All they do is RPOs.
How
I've
many
watched this
games have
over and
y'all
over.
played? Because you follow the Eagles closer than I do. How many games have y'all played that y'all been playing from behind?
None. No, 2. That was the
So you
Jags, and yeah, that was the Jags, and it was one more, I think. But we haven't been playing behind.
and it's that defense, man. The defense has given up 135 points.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, they haven't played, because they play tomorrow, but that's less than every other team in the NFC.
Mm-hmm.
When you give up 135 points compared to Detroit giving up 264, that's a
Mm-hmm.
big difference. You can't win games when you're giving up 264 points.
There you go.
You got the Bears giving up 247 points. Where the
Woo.
Commanders? The Commanders only give up 192. So the Commanders' defense gives their offense chances to win. That's why they're
Mm-hmm.
4-5. They're 4-5 and can easily be 5-4.
Mm-hmm. And the difference,
So
the biggest difference too is the turnover. We don't turn over the ball. We don't turn the ball over. You blitzing Jalen Hurts all game. He gets no sit back passes. The problem with that is you blitz him and he cuts open and you got problems. He going for 35, 45 yards.
or you got to watch the screen
Or you
game.
got
They
to
got a
watch the
very
screen game.
effective screen game, and they got good tight ends.
So everybody looking for a weakness in the RPO. They just ain't figured it out yet.
You forgot your boy Dallas Goddard still over
I did say Dallas Goedert. I said AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert. Dallas Goedert. Then you
there.
got
Man, you
Miles
talk
Sanders coming in the background.
you
Out
talk
the background.
about the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers division is trash, bro. It's trash. They're in the Atlanta Falcons, Carolina Panthers, and New Orleans Saints division. The Falcons aren't gonna win that division over the Buccaneers, bro.
What's the Falcons schedule?
Let's see.
They play in the Bears, they play in the Commanders, the Steelers, Saints, Cardinals, and the 2 toughest games is the Ravens and the Bucks again.
Yeah, they're gonna lose to the Commanders.
They're gonna lose to the Commanders.
They're gonna lose to the Ravens. They're gonna lose to the Buccaneers. They're gonna lose to probably
So let's say 3 more losses.
4 losses.
They'll be 8-9.
Yeah,
That is a trash division. I'm sorry.
trash division, man. Good thing for Tom Brady. That's probably why he went there.
Good job, Tom Brady. So yeah, he might be back. Eagles got to show me. See, everybody, Eagles got to show me in playoff. Eagles versus Bucks. Let's see. That's Jalen Hurts coming out season. No, he was not as polished as he was. Yes, he looked like trash last year.
Or
We shouldn't have been there, but
what
we got
about
there.
that Vikings and Saints playoff debacle?
Oh gosh, it's just the Kirk. I call it the Kirk Cousins curse. That's all. We're gonna leave that there. The Kirk Cousins curse.
Good
I don't.
episode, man.
Yeah, I don't believe in Kirk Cousins in any way, shape, form, or fashion. He folds under pressure like a cheap paper plate. So the Vikings are going to be what the Vikings are going to be until they draft C.J. Stroud.
Kirk Cousins is the king of mediocrity, bro.
King of mediocrity.
He
He
just has to play not to lose.
All right, coin this phrase. He is a white Dak. He's a white Dak Prescott.
He might be Dak Prescott.
He's a white Dak Prescott, bro. He gonna give you all the feels. He gonna give you all the feels of a playoff caliber team. All the feels. And I think I don't know. I think Jerry Jones is cursed ever since he did something to Tony Romo. Tony Romo, I don't know. Ever since Kirk ate, who was it? It was Troy ever since Troy Aikman left, they ain't been right. They ain't been right.
Damn.
Kirk
Imagine
Cousins
that.
is what Derek Carr could have been. Oh,
Derek Carr's a bum.
the car's the bomb. They should have just pulled Kaepernick. All right. So look, what we got coming up?
We got some stuff coming up, man. We got first off, let's talk about Thanksgiving is around the corner.
Yes.
So before we close, I want to say Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. I probably said that last year when we did the same episode.
Yeah,
So
see that fat boy smile. Okay.
you know, it's a beautiful time of year when Thanksgiving comes around. So I will be looking forward to that. We got the sports collab coming up, and we got our Empire Building series that we need to finish producing. So check us out, man. If you miss us live, always check us out on Spotify and iTunes. You can find each and every episode there. Also, follow the Instagram channel because we always have some funny posts. I always see some funny ass conversation on the IG.
That'd be
And K
crazy.
Dizzle, where can they find my man? K Dizzle, what you got?
What? Let me put all the links in here, my guy. Put all the links in there so everybody got it. But you know we can. You can find your boy have streams, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, everywhere. Find me K Dizzle DC everywhere, man. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple iTunes podcast. We're everywhere. Everywhere you listening, we there. We're about to be on Audible in a minute. So
And
look,
don't get K Dizzle fucked up because that intro is original, man. If y'all never knew that, about our intro, that's original music.
oh man, we just do what we do, make things happen. We love y'all. We only here and we only continue to do this and do it well because you guys are here. We interact with you. We appreciate you coming in, sharing everything that you do. And it just makes us better at what we do. And we'll see y'all next week, man. See y'all next week.
Holla.
And you know, and I know, and they know, and we know, we go on.